It is Throwback Thursday. Well, you know what? So it's gonna be one of my favorite times of the week. Now, see, today we're gonna talk about a little girl who left Detroit, Michigan, went to New York, did all the things that a little girl should do to become a star back in the 70s, through the 70s and late 80s, as she made her mark in New York. Actress, singer, model. Well, she did some modeling. Made her mark, joined some dance crews, things like that. Performed in a few bands. Went over to Europe with some disco producers. Did some background work. Came back and did her own demos. Did her own thing. And as the story was, she went to this record executive's hospital bed while he was in the hospital, made herself known who she was, convinced him to sign her. She joined a little independent label that had a few major acts on it at the time, like, the B-52s and the Ramones. No, the B-52s wasn't on that label. They were on the parent label, Warner Brothers. But the Ramones, Soft Cell, Depeche Mode, and she became the queen, as we all know, named Madonna. So everybody's talking about Madonna this week, and I want to do a little throwback reaction. Let's just go back. I was 17, hadn't turned 18 yet. It is March to be exact, 21st, 1989. 89. I was actually 18. Sorry, I aged myself. Anyway, and Like a Prayer comes out. Like a Prayer is number one in over 12 countries. Okay, and it basically, I would say, it's the start of the Madonna that we all know now. Okay, at the time she came out. Now, the top albums in 1989, okay, and not particularly in this order of their number ones, but it was Anita Baker's Rapture, Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel, which actually kind of was at the top, number one, fell back down, came back up to number one. You had Guns N' Roses, I think Appetite for Destruction, or maybe it was Use Your Illusion. You had Debbie Gibson's Electric Youth, that was number one that year. Tone Loc. You remember Tone. Wow, dang. Yeah, don't even act like I wasn't going to the clubs and dancing on, on the radio. So Loc After Dark was number one. Fine Young Cannibals album was number one, but I only had the 45 for She Drives Me Crazy. What else was number one? Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl, was number one. That was her first album that summer. Richard Marx was number one. I don't know if you're not gonna remember Richard Marx, but he had a song, wherever you go, whatever you do, I'm right here waiting on you. You know that. Richard Marx was number one, and believe it or not, towards the end of the year, close to the winter time, we had Madonna and Janet Jackson. Madonna came out with Like a Virgin. Janet Jackson came out with, the album that shaped her career and, moved it forward. Rhythm Nation 1814. So that was a big year, okay? And so that I am a real pop music junkie, or I'm just a kid of pop music. I actually have every either album or cassette or CD of every number one album that year. Every one, okay? And believe it or not, I don't mean to forget it, but I mean, you can say what you want about it, but I think it was a good album. Girl, You Know It's True by Milli Vanilli. So, but we're not talking about Milli Vanilli, we're talking about Madonna, 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 as Robin Williams would put it. And so at that year, released a Like a Prayer. She also released the singles Express Yourself, Cherish, Oh Father, Dear Jesse, and Keep It Together. Okay? But I don't know why I keep thinking that Dear Jesse and Oh Father was a double-sided, release, but they both had separate releases, but I thought they were a double, like a double-sided. But so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna listen to a couple of songs and the singles, and do a little discussion on it. Like I said, when she came out, it was a big old thing about Like a Prayer. She made Madonna managed to piss off the Catholic Church and the rednecks in the KKK in the South, or most people who are ignorant in America, because of a couple of things. She made Jesus, or a Saint, black. There was a burning cross. She was kissing or had lusting desires inside of a church. And then on top of that, she was kissing or having lustful things happen with this black saint or black Jesus. Now the man who played, this saint or Jesus, whoever it was, I have to go back and watch the video, he actually ended up on tour with her. Okay? And there was a big issue about that amongst the people who were on tour with her, because they wasn't feeling him, like, oh, he can't dance, why is he here? Oh, that's because he's doing her whatever. So so when the Like a Prayer video came out, it was a big thing about it, and people were upset, like I said. But Like a Prayer itself, the song is amazing. It was unlike anything Madonna had did on her self-titled album, or Like a Virgin, or True Blue. It was it was just so different. And that's what I say, this was the start of the Madonna we know now. So she, like I said, she managed to piss off the Catholic Church. She pissed off, a couple people, and everybody was just talking. Even MTV was kind of scared to play the video, whatever the case might be. But you know what? Hey, it was a big song for her. It was a #1 song for her. My favorite thing about Like a Prayer is the 12-inch remix. The 12-inch remix. Oh my God! I wish I was old. And I didn't start going to the clubs then. But that song, the remix was just as big as the single version. It was. And I think it was Junior Vasquez remixes on it, Shep Pettibone remixes. But the backwards masking on it, sounded like something out of Exorcist. So, to me, I think Like a Prayer is definitely one of her best songs. I mean, to me, it's like a religious experience, to be honest with you. And it was great. It really was. But then Madonna, knowing Madonna and being Madonna, she had to give us something to dance to. Yes, she had put out Express Yourself. They were dancing. I mean, it was such a big video. It really was. And I kind of questioned the timing on the making of it, because I think it actually was made at a certain time and another video was made before then. But I'll get to that, because see, she was grand in this video. I'm talking about, she had on silver gown, she had platinum blonde hair, which came down to her shoulders. Maybe a little bit higher. She definitely had her dancers. You know, she had, you know, guys in the video in those shirts, you know, working, you know, laboring in the rain, you know, like they were in the rain in a factory. And one of the guys who was in the video, he was gorgeous. I'm not sure if he was Italian or if he was a Latino, but he also became one of the dancers or principals on her girly show tour. And I have to check because I'm not sure. I think he's still alive. I'm not sure. There was a documentary I saw recently that had the dancers from that era, that time. They all got together and made a little tell-all. But yeah, she did express herself. Now, most of you know, there's a big controversy. There was a little, you know, some shadiness about it. You know, her or her fans or her somebody said, "Oh no, child, Lady Gaga done ripped you off. Lady Gaga trying to, you know, ride your coattails." Well, Born This Way is not one of my favorite songs. I really think Born This Way is corny, and Gaga fans, little monsters, don't come for me. Please don't. But it is corny. I mean, Express Yourself, you know, it was original, but, you know, it made everybody feel good. She wasn't trying to say blatantly, you know, "Oh, this is your sexuality, put it in people's face." She was just saying, express yourself. Feel what you feel. No matter if you're gay, straight, black, white, if you feel an Afro power, you feel a flower power, if you were, you know, if you're an artist or a dancer, express yourself. Make yourself known. Make yourself be seen. You know, there's a difference, and there's a difference in messages between Express Yourself and Born This Way. Okay? You know, us in our 40s, you know, and when we were in our 20s, we didn't need to really be told, you know, what we were, or we didn't have to really put it out there. You know, you just are who you are, and whoever you are, express that, you know, and that's what Express Yourself was about. She also had the next single, she kind of slowed it down. You know, we have been dancing all that time and partying. I don't really remember the remixes for Express Yourself, but there were remixes, 12-inch remixes, and I think they were also done by the same remixers that were big at that time, Junior Vasquez, Shep Pettibone. But she did Cherish next, and there was a video for Cherish. It was cute. So with Cherish, the video is so cute, okay? It was done by Herb Ritz, who also did her calendar, who's doing a lot of her pictures and a lot of other famous pictures. If you don't know who Herb Ritz is, he's no longer with us, but I do wish that you would go and check out his art. Go, you know, get his book that was put out. He filmed and shot everybody from Madonna to Janet Jackson to Antonio Banderas. Little side note, Madonna did introduce Antonio to the US and the world, basically. I mean, he was already becoming a hot, you know, Spanish, you know, actor at the time, but she brought him to us. But anyway, so what I was saying. So anyway, at this time, this is where I was getting to earlier. I think Cherish was made before Express Yourself, but I could be wrong, and I have to go back and look because she had short hair in Cherish, and I think she still had dark hair. But like I said, I can't be too sure on that, and I have to check. And there's another reason why I'm saying this, because Madonna did have platinum blonde hair, and I think this was leading to something else that was a little bit later on. Now, but it was cute, you know, had the kids in it, you know, Madonna was turning into a mermaid, or there were mermaids and such like that. And I really think Janet Jackson and her people actually, you know, took the same idea from Madonna. So let's say Madonna did it first, because if you go look at Love Will Never Do Without You by Janet Jackson, that came out later, maybe a year later or so, not too far. She had the same concept. It was a beach. It was in black and white. Same photographer. Same, you know, person directed. No mermaids, but you know, but grown sexy men, and Janet being sexy, short hair and everything. So, you know, a lot of videos were like that. Even Chris Isaac's Wicked Games, I think, was kind of the same kind of video, but not on the beach. Just a lot of videos had that black and white kind of thing going in. Well, the next couple of singles from the album were Dear Jessie, Old Fodder, and Keep It Together. Now, see, I think around this time of the album, this was becoming the autobiographical era. I mean, not era, but part of the album. And she was actually, you know, these songs I didn't really care for when they first came out. But if you get a copy or go online and you can watch Truth or Dare, which was the documentary that was made right after Like a Prayer came out, these songs in her shows or in the documentary all kind of went together. Now, what I hear is, I heard that this song is kind of about her brother. Maybe that's what people were saying back then. You know, her brother Christopher, who at the time was kind of a part of her camp. He did a lot of paint. You know, he's an artist, and he did some really great artwork. And a lot of, you know, around that time, she kind of featured his artwork on her, you know, part of her tour, her T-shirts, you know, things she did. Actually, the Like a Prayer 12-inch single, the picture on the front of that is his work. I remember there was something else he did with a heart and like a bleeding heart or something like that. So they say that's what Dear Jessie is about. Who knows? I mean, but to me, honestly, Dear Jessie reminds me a lot of Prince's Starfish and Coffee. It sounds like a song Prince and Lisa and Wendy would have put together. It's very light like that, you know, images, the song about these images in the song, you know, very just whimsical, you know, like Starfish and Coffee, Elephants and Pink Lemonade, things like that, you know. But it is a cute song, and it, you know, like I said, you know, they say it's about her brother. And then you got Old Fodder, which was the next single. It's really sad. It is a sad song, and like I said, I really didn't connect to these songs until I saw the documentary, went to the movies, and we saw Truth or Dare. And so, pretty much, Old Fodder, you know, it sounds like that song that would have been a part of her biopic. You know, when they do a biopic about her, and they go into that silent mode and they have this song playing. And it is a bit sad, you know, but I get it, you know, especially if Madonna, I don't think Madonna wrote it, but I know Patrick Leonard, one of the producers and her songwriters at that time, I think he wrote it. I don't know if it's autobiographical for him, or maybe he was sitting down talking to Madonna, or, you know, or maybe, you know, he kind of knew Madonna pretty well at that time. I just know that it is sad. It really speaks to a lot of people. And like I said, if you watch the documentary, it really ties well into everything that in that part, when she went home and she visited her mom's grave and she had to talk with her dad and all the stuff we knew about her dad at the time. And you know, it's just it's a statement. It's a statement that a young girl or a woman is making. You know, she's on her own and she's kind of maybe talking to her dad or having a conversation with her dad inside of her, however you want to put it, you know. But then she brought it right back. I said, Madonna, don't keep us sitting too long. You know, she's like a DJ. She want to keep us dancing. And she did come back. The next single, or the last single from the album, was Keep It Together. Hey. Now, I did love this song. I mean, here in Houston. It got played quite a bit, especially on 104, and they played it quite a bit because it was just an upbeat kind of song. And what I like about this song, is kind of like ties up the other two singles. It kind of brings them all together, and it's like a little story. And because if you really listen to it and read the words, it's almost like she's telling you about her family and all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, I think she, she pretty much, was saying, what I think she's saying in this song was, family is family, you can't change that. But what I really think she's saying is keep it together, not just in a family sense, like hold your family together, don't let it break apart. But I also think she's telling us, if you got this mask on, or you this certain person, or you this entity everybody knows, and they piss you off, they make you mad, keep it together. If you feel things are going a little crazy, keep it together until you get to that family or those people you call family who you can let it go. You can break down for, because if you don't keep it together with your real family or the people you call family and the people who are going to be there till your dying day, then you're just going to fall apart. You don't have nothing, So if you have that and you need those people, keep it together until you get to them people. At least that's what I think she's saying about it. But overall, that was the songs. That's what the singles, like I said, she released like a prayer, express yourself, cherish, dear Jesse, oh Father, keep it together. Now, I don't know where Dear Jesse and Oh Father did on the charts. I think they kind of landed in the middle of the top 40 or the lower top 40, because not many radio stations, I didn't hear any radio stations that all playing Dear Jesse or Oh Father. But like a prayer itself as an album, on the scale of Madonna albums that I've listened to, I know, I would say this album actually for me ranks number 1. Okay, this is like out of my top 5. It's definitely going to be, this is my top 5 Madonna albums. Like a Prayer, her self-titled album, Something to Remember, I'm Breathless, and Bedtime Stories. So that's my top 5. Okay, that's my top 5. Okay, those are my favorite Madonna albums. Okay, and that's just me. With Like a Virgin coming in number 6. But I do believe Like a Prayer was also the first Madonna album that, no matter where you got it at, be it in the United States, Mexico, Europe, Warner Brothers kept total control over it and did not put a lot of extras to it. Okay, because this copy I have, this is my second copy. This is the European or UK version of the album. Nothing different from the American version. What was a kicker to this album? You bought it, it came in a long box, this 12-inch or 10-inch long box with the CD at the bottom of it, or if you bought the album itself, and when you put it up to your nose, it had a scent of patchouli to it. Okay, and even till this day, I just did it right before we started filming this, Judy. You still smell it. You smell it on the vinyl. You smell it on the inner sleeve. And it's still there, believe it or not, after all this time. And I don't burn patchouli. So, like I said, this is such a great album. It's number 1 on my list. So much happened after this album. It came out, singles came out. Then Madonna started working on, she didn't tour right away for it because she took and accepted a part for Dick Tracy. At that time, she also was dating Warren Beatty. And they became a couple. But she took the position. She took the role as Breathless Mahoney, and I know that's the name. At first, I couldn't remember it a couple hours ago, but it came to me like out of the blue. So she took that part, and if you remember the movie, or at that time, she had platinum blonde hair because she was, you know, a club singer or a lounge singer, and Breathless was actually the girlfriend of this fat, nasty, evil gangster in the movie. And then she fell in love with Dick Tracy, but eventually, spoiler alert, she gets killed. So at that time, she took this movie, and that would have been her second movie, because she had did her third movie, because she did Desperately Seeking Susan, she did Who's That Girl, then this, and then I think Body of Evidence came later, because she still had the same hair. But anyway, go. Then she put out the album I'm Breathless, which is, actually, that album is number 6 on my list. Maybe it really ties into number 5, but it's definitely one of my favorite albums. I love it. And she put out Vogue and just changed the world and had us all, you know, all over the place. You know how it went. So, and those who could do, and those who can't look like a fool like myself. So anyway, go. Then she went on tour for the Girly Show and turned out the world. They couldn't stop talking about it, especially the Like a Virgin masturbation scene. You know, all you heard was, oh my God, we haven't had this much sexuality since Donna Summer's Love to Love You, Baby. Oh my God, and she's doing X-rated stuff. Oh, why she's doing this in front of the children, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you got small kids, you take the small kids to see Madonna's show, you the fool, okay? You should already know, young kids should not be at a Madonna show. This is a grown woman who expresses her sexuality, who loves men, and she's getting her cha-cha-chas on, okay? So, just, you know, forewarning, you know, Madonna shows are not, you know, they're artistic, they're great, they're a party, but they're not for young kids, okay? Definitely, Madonna shows should be no admittance unless you're 16 and over. That just should be how it is. But, like I said, anyway it go, a lot came after, you know, Like a Prayer and a lot of good things. And then it parlayed on from there to the sex book and other movie roles, be it good or bad, you know, and then erotica. But, you know, we're going to get through all that, Judy. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go have some cocktails, Judy. We're going to put this album on. We're going to turn it up. Maybe start making some tacos or something, you know, because I'm kind of hungry right now. But until later, tell your mama I said hey, all right? And